The following is an exclusive sports presentation of Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. It's time for the fun and excitement of Hornby Hornets baseball. Let's get things started by heading out to the field for the pregame show with our broadcast team. Well, good afternoon, or I guess early evening, everyone. Welcome into live sports coverage on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10 for the first time in about 3 months as we are back from the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic. And finally today, we get some much anticipated baseball action. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. We've got John Alderton running our camera, helping out with our sling and our setup today, Natalie Comer, and Don Kinney is our engineer back at the studio. We have the national anthem now playing in the background. So let's pause for just a moment. We'll pick that up. Oh, hang on. It was just a test run. All right, so there we go. Well, Matt, that explains what it has been like since March for all of these players and coaches and everybody involved trying to find a way to be able to get out on a baseball field and try to resume at least some form of normalcy.
Well, Matt, I tell you what, it's an eerie feeling. We were sitting in the exact same spots we're sitting right now in March when we were here for a scrimmage. Martinsburg was scrimmaging Smithsburg. And at that point, we had no idea what was to come over the next 3 months. We had found out just before going on air that the NCAA tournament had been canceled. Everything else hadn't been canceled yet. The state tournament for basketball was still on at that moment, but we were sitting in these exact seats when the world started to change as we knew it, and I feel like it's perfect and very fitting that we're in the exact same spots to get sports going again in the Eastern Panhandle. Looking forward to it tonight. It is the Hornets taking on the Antietam Generals in some independent league baseball.
Yeah, these are a pair of teams that normally would be playing under the banner of American Legion baseball, but it was pretty early on that American Legion said that they would not be doing any of their regional tournaments or their World Series type of tournament. But initially, it was said that states would be able to make determinations as to what they may do, as each state has obviously been handling this COVID-19 differently. It didn't take long, however, before American Legion said, you know what, I think we're going to pull back completely, and that left teams like these, normally Funkstown out of Maryland, who is Antietam here tonight, and the Hornby Hornets, normally Berkeley Post 14, scrambling for sponsors and an opportunity to get on the field.
Well, it'll be an interesting vantage point from up here to see the different aspects of what things are going to look like. We were told before getting on the air that it'll be 4 to 5 people in a dugout, and they have roped off down the line, and there's going to be room for all the other players. There's 6 feet apart signs everywhere around P.O. Faulkner Park, which I will say Martinsburg head coach Aaron Byler's done a fantastic job of getting ready. The field looks fantastic, but it is the current age of sports that we're living in, and this is just the beginning of changes that we could be seeing as the summer rolls on and as fall gets closer.
Well, and another aspect of, how this has all kind of come together, wait until you see the Hornby Hornets as they take the field. They are going to look like this is a Major League All-Star game, as all will kind of be wearing their own colors, as the official uniforms have not yet arrived. They expect those to get here, I believe, on Thursday in time for their next set of games, a Saturday doubleheader.
So it'll be a lot of, okay, who do we think is coming to the plate right now? We've given instructions, hey, just holler your name back up at us so we know who you are, but it'll be a interesting game, but I'm looking forward to it. It's nice. This is the longest break I think the station has ever had from calling live sporting events, so it is nice to be back out at a ball field, and hopefully the weather holds out, because right now looking a little ominous around the ballpark, but I'm hoping we can get these 2 in.
Hey, it has been like this from, the middle of March, wondering if we would see athletics again and how quickly, and here we are. Why not? On a night that was supposed to have already been stormed out based on the forecast as the day began, and while we do have cloud cover around, we still are in a position where it looks like we'll have a chance to at least get one game in. We'll find out about Game 2. By the way, Game 2 of this doubleheader will bring in another team for the Hornby Hornets as they will take on a team out of Winchester, and looking forward to that matchup. And Matt, from what we've heard in our conversations with Trip Tobin, of course, a lot of these players for the Hornets back from last year, a Legion team that barely lost to Morgantown in that state championship. And you're talking about a Funkstown team now represented by these Antietam Generals, and a Winchester team out of Virginia that both did very well in their respective states also.
Yeah, I don't think you were able to be at that Winchester game last year, but that was a very good matchup, and you saw a lot of talent on that field, and there's a lot of talent back for this Hornets team and some college experience, including Chase DeLauder, who last year was a senior at Hedgesville High School, won his second straight Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of West Virginia, and this year just went to JMU and was a freshman All-American down there, hitting the leadoff spot as a true freshman. So nothing to shake your head at with the talent that's going to be on this field here tonight.
Absolutely. All of these three teams will bring some talented players, which should mean for some good baseball. And that is really the question that we have coming in, Matt, is figuring out just where these players might be, having not been able to be on a regular baseball field even for very long in a good practice situation, let alone obviously in these game situations.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We talked to Trip Tobin a little bit earlier on Miller Time, and he said in their scrimmages the pitching looked very good, which is what you might expect. Bat speed going to have to pick up as the season goes on, but you expect the pitching to look good, and we expect, don't have that official word yet, but we expect Chase DeLauder to be on the mound, and you know he has got a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, we would expect him to be on at least to get it started, but early on for, I would imagine, both of these teams, we really, in our setup and getting all of our cameras together and being ready to get on the air, both radio and television, we don't even have lineup cards in front of us yet at this point, so haven't had a chance to talk with the Antietam manager, but, you know, I kind of wonder what the perspective is, you know, for his players out there and how they will approach it. We know that John Lowry Jr. now running the pitching for the Hornets, basically looking to use guys and maybe even one inning at a time, but maybe no more than 2 or 3 innings at a time to watch that pitch count.
And, Matt, I tell you what, did those ground rules seem to take about twice to 3 times as long as they usually do down there with all these new rules that are going to be implemented?
All right, as we pause here for the national anthem, let's send it back to the studio. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout, and when we come back, we should be ready for today's opening pitch and all the action of Hornby Hornets baseball.
Rumors are flying. There's this big merger everyone is talking about. 2 real forces in the world joining forces. This is big stuff, but it's all rumor. Is this merger really going to happen? If so, when? Where? Who else is involved? Mergers of this stature affect a lot of people. At Bechtel Jewelers, we say, sir, it's time to confirm the rumors. This is Lori from Bechtel Jewelers. It's true. People are talking about you and that woman you're so crazy about. It's so obvious to everybody that you're meant for each other. And yes, talk about 2 forces in the world. You, her, watch out, world. So get in here. Let's find the diamond and the setting. Just perfect for her. Just what she's dreamed of. Then get back to her pronto. Down on one knee, open that little box, say those few words. She'll probably say more than a few back. Of course, when she sees her diamond, she might not be able to say anything at all, except the one word that confirms that beautiful merger. And then spread the news. Confirm the rumors. This merger is happening. Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South in Inwood.
Find them online at BechtelJewelers.com.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
We welcome you back into P.O. Faulkner Park Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 coverage of Hornby Hornets baseball. Good to try to get back to normal. Not normal is when you look down the third and first base lines towards the dugouts. Normally you would see the players kind of crowded together in those dugouts, and you would get that chirping that goes on in a baseball game. But for now, those players are spread out a little bit more, not really in the dugout, but down the line past the dugout, trying to keep at least a little bit of that social distancing going between them. We understand that they will try to keep no more than 3 to 5 players actually in the dugout area, as you will have a batter that will make his way to the plate. Someone will step into the on-deck circle, and you can have a player or two still in the dugout as they are preparing for their potential at-bat. And so something that we will be keeping an eye on as we get going here today. Towing that pitching rubber for the Hornets is Chase DeLauder, the former standout for the Hedgesville Eagles, and working with his old battery mate as Brady Weaver is behind the plate, and he will be doing the catching. And those two guys working together for at least 3 years, if not all 4 years on the varsity level out at Hedgesville High School. And so teaming up yet again as they play now for the Hornets independent baseball, and we are just about ready to go. So Matt, welcome back. You were just down and picking up some of those
independent baseball, man. Love it. Leading off is going to be Justin Taylor.
So Justin Taylor standing in for the Generals. Taylor, a left-hand batter, swings at the first pitch and bounces it foul in behind the plate. Pounded that one right down into the dirt at his feet and then rolled in behind the plate. I see a few raindrops on the sheets as you came back up, so a little sprinkle starting?
I don't know if you can tell by the amount of lack of light for this time of the evening usually, but it is a little dark.
Nice off-speed pitch, a swing and a miss by Taylor, and just like that, DeLauder ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. DeLauder works from that third base side of the pitching rubber as a left-hand pitcher and then delivers this one. How would Bob Euchre say that from?
Just a bit outside.
There you go. Yeah, just a bit outside, and that is ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So with DeLauder pitching and Weaver catching, they'll be 1 and 3 in the batting order, sandwiched in between Anderson out in center field. Another off-speed pitch, this one just low and away. And the count is evened up 2 and 2, and that's a good eye by Taylor.
You hit the nail on the head, just low and away. That's a tough pitch to lay off, and a good eye by Taylor.
Now that break even is due. Lights already on with those cloudy skies. Pitch in on his hands, and he pops it foul back out of play. Taylor stays alive, count holding 2 and 2.
Good to see Caleb Horner back on the field, Matt, wearing the right knee brace. Injured that during football season. Nice to see him back out on the diamond.
Yeah, Horner playing third base. Again, jammed. Taylor sends a little dribbler off the third base side of the mound where quickly DeLauder fields, turns, throws on to first, and in plenty of time to get him. Good pitching as a couple of pitches missed outside, but then he came back to that inside part of the plate.
Yeah, it was a good first at-bat by Taylor, seeing 6 pitches, and a good job by DeLauder being the lefty, his body kind of taking him that way. I think if he's a righty, he does not get to that ball, and that's a tough play and probably an infield single, but a good job fielding his position.
It will
TJ Gallagher up to the plate now.
TJ Gallagher, yeah, thank you. You're helping to fill me in as we go. That first pitch, a strike on the inside corner, even though it glanced off of the mid of Brady Weaver.
Brady Weaver down at Shepherd this year, or at least the time he could be down at Shepherd in the spring. That wind really starting to pick up now as the dirt swirling. You can see the trees in left field really starting to move.
This pitch missing. Outside count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. And, yeah, you are right about how that wind has picked up and picked up very quickly. Hopefully whatever this system is, it will get through just as quickly, and we will be able to continue this game. The 1-1 pitch working low and outside to Gallagher. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Gallagher playing at second base for Antietam. Right-hand batter, slightly open stance near the back of that box. Swings at the off-speed pitch, pops it foul out of play down the right field line. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Matt, could you tell the movement on that pitch by Chase DeLauder?
Oh, yes.
That thing started on the outside edge of the plate and eventually worked to jam a Gallagher. And what What a pitch by DeLauder.
Umbrellas going up, so some rain now beginning to fall with those heavy winds and the cloudy skies. And now that 2-2 pitch, a called strike three on the inside corner, and Gallagher knew it, fooled by that inside fastball. So Gallagher down on strikes, first K of the ball game for Chase DeLauder, and he froze him with that one. So 2 away, the bases are empty. Matt, who do we got next?
Next, it looks like it's going to be Corey Walters stepping to the plate, playing first base today in that number 3 spot.
Walters' first pitch swinging will send one foul down the left field line. That one gets back out of play. And now the sideways rain has made its way in. Oh, yes. And now it looks like they're going to go ahead and clear the field and get the tarps on as quickly as they can. Neil Ryman-Schneider is our umpire behind the plate. Jeff King is on the bases, and it did not take very long at all for Neil Ryman-Schneider to say, hey, let's go ahead and get the teams in the dugout. And the coaching staff's Aaron Byler, this is his home field as the head coach for the Martinsburg Bulldogs here at P.O. Faulkner Park. He is quickly out there, and they are getting some tarps on the mound as well as the tarp around home plate. The base paths will have to see if they can survive however long this rainstorm lasts. So we got in, what would you say, probably just about 8 minutes or so of baseball, and now the rains have come, and we sit in our first rain delay. Well, we waited this long to be able to see some baseball from mid-March until now. What the heck, why not wait a little bit longer? We were told by Trip Tobin earlier in the day as we talked with him on our Miller Time program. By the way, if you're not aware of that, that is Matt Crawford and I talking sports and sometimes some other current and local events as well. That's live from 12 to 1, normally re-aired from 5 to 6, and, of course, leading into our baseball coverage here this evening. But Trip Tobin joining us and talking about if they were unable to get these games in here tonight, that they had already discussed the provisional plan of playing tomorrow evening. And it looks like tomorrow should be outstanding weather-wise. As I grab my phone and open the app, we are looking at sunny skies for the day on Wednesday. High temperature would be about 83 degrees, and by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, you're looking at mostly sunny and 82, so it would be a perfect evening for baseball tomorrow, and we'll just have to wait and see if that's exactly what happens, if we're going to have to wait until then, or if we'll be able to resume action here in this one. Boy, Chase DeLauder looked good early on, battled through 6 pitches to get the dribbler just off to the third base side of the mound, retiring Justin Taylor. Then on a 2-2 pitch, got the strikeout getting a fastball on that inside corner to T.J. Gallagher. And as Corey Walters stood in and fouled away the first pitch, well, that's when the heavy rains came, and things have been halted at this time. We're going to send it back to the studio. Don, let's go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. We'll check the radar from here, get an idea of what may be coming next. Stay tuned. We're back with more now in a rain delay with Hornby Hornets baseball.
Law Enforcement Live airs daily only on TV 10.
I was asking if you got anything that would stab me. You can get it. I'm going to hold your head.
That's not what the media makes it to be. We're here to help.
Bunch of pills she's got.
I like what I do.
The following scene contains graphic content some viewers may find upsetting.
Stand back. That's sad.
New episodes, Wednesdays, 8 p.m.
Viewer discretion is advised.
want to do it.
Eastern Panhandle Talk with Rob Mario and David Welch.
Are you trying to create controversy more so than we already have?
Responding to the people.
I see. Okay.
That's what I do.
I think you're stirring it up.
I'm kind of a big deal. That's right. That would be the root cause of the stir.
I'm not paying that fine.
Just got doubled.
What? For?
Denial.
Why? Oh, denial.
Denial. How can you have the money? You have 17 jobs.
Yeah, but none of them pay well.
Weekdays at 8 a.m. on TV 10.
It's Miller time on Talk Radio WRNR. A local look at local, regional, and national sports with Matt Miller and Matt Crawford.
And plenty that we can talk about coming out of the weekend, including the return of golf. Hold on. Oh, wait.
No, there was no golf claps.
There will be no golf claps.
None whatsoever.
Weekdays at 12 noon and 5 p.m. on TV 10.
All right, we welcome you back in again to P.O. Faulkner Park. Independent baseball, the Antietam Generals taking on the host Hornby Hornets. 2/3 of an inning in the books. One pitch to the third batter, and the rains have taken charge, and it is a heavy rain coming down, still sideways, blowing a little bit in towards the press box, beginning to pepper the windows here, making it a little harder to see. But, Matt, there is some puddling already beginning on that infield.
There is, and there's a little bit underneath my legs where I'm sitting right now, running out to grab some of those cameras.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah.
Matt and Natalie getting out there, getting wet, getting those cameras protected.
And Mike Hornby, if you're listening or watching, the cameras are all safe and accounted for. But, yeah, there's some serious puddles, especially at third base right now, behind the bag. And first base isn't looking too bad except around the bag. Once you start getting over to where the first baseman actually plays, you can see some puddling start to happen behind second base. They have the tarps on the field, but the corners are starting to get a little submerged in water.
I'm looking at radar through my phone right now,
and lightning. So let's get comfy for at least a half hour.
Yeah, that was some pretty good lightning and a big rumble of thunder there.
Not saying that we're not going to play tonight, but I'm hoping Trip Tobin's on the phone with Winchester and going, hey, have y'all left yet? Because we may not be getting that second game in tonight.
Oh, and as I look at that radar, what's going on right now seems like it is going to clear out, but it could be another 35 to 40 minutes before it does.
And some field work going to have to be done.
Right, but shortly after that, at least at this moment in time, they're tracking that radar that says by about 7:43, we're getting a system that should be rolling right back through again and possibly stay for about another hour. So as we keep an eye on it, right now, not necessarily looking good to get things going again. And that's got to be tough for Chase DeLauder, who you'd really have liked to have seen gone. I would imagine they would be looking at trying to maybe get 2 innings out of him, depending on how many pitches that he had thrown. It took 6 to get through the first batter, 5 through the second, so he's up to about 12 pitches at this moment in time. Should he have been able to get Walters on just a couple, I would imagine that you're bringing DeLauder back out for that second inning, see how that one goes, and then maybe he gets into the third, or maybe at that time you go ahead and look to get somebody else in.
We heard earlier about 30 pitches is what Trip Tobin told us in our interview on Miller Time a little bit earlier. So, yeah, depending on how quickly he was working, he was getting ready to throw pitch 13. So you think 15 an inning roughly if he can get out of that quickly. Yeah, I'm thinking 2 innings, maybe 3, but I doubt with John Lowry Jr. in charge of the pitching, I think he's keeping a pretty sharp eye on those pitchers, and especially a guy like DeLauder.
Oh, absolutely. And we understand in talking with manager Trip Tobin, his game plan was to have DeLauder, because you want his bat in the lineup, remain as a DH. So the rules would be such that DeLauder, who starts at the top of the order in the leadoff spot and doing the pitching, he would get his first at bat as a pitcher on the mound and could therefore then stay in and be considered as the DH for any subsequent pitchers that would come in after him. So a chance to keep that strong bat in the lineup.
Well, man, I think the rain has started to slow down. The darker clouds moving out towards right field. So we did see lightning, so I believe that's at least a half hour. But
well, and clearly much brighter skies now off of left field, and so maybe that brighter area kind of pushing its way through and the clouds pushing off. But there is still a rain falling, and you can see how it is landing in the puddled spots on the infield. And so, yep, there will definitely be some field work needed to get this field playable again. And I think at that point, probably you need to be looking at what may be coming after as far as the radar. You know, how much of a window does it look like you have, and is it worth the effort that it may take to try to get things going, just to maybe end up in yet another delay within 30, 45 minutes to an hour of playing.
Well, that decision is going to come to groundskeeper this time of the year, Aaron Byler. He, as the head coach, is in charge of this field, and from what we have heard from him, going to be in charge of giving the yay or nay on field conditions. Obviously, the umpires will give the, hey, we're going to stop play for a little while like you just saw. But from what we understand, he is going to be the one that goes, we are going to play or we're not going to play. And I believe we're getting the no sign from Trip Tobin that this just ain't going to work tonight.
So there it is, Trip Tobin asking for the music to halt. He's coming over towards us, and there you go. We turned up that crowd mic to try to pick it up, and he says, hey, like the old Batman show, same bat time, same bat channel, as we will come back tomorrow and pick it up at 5:30. I have to ask Trip, is he still down there? Whether they will pick it up from this point, or I'm going to imagine
they'll
you just
start
over.
over. Yeah, you don't even get a full half inning in. You got to just start over at that point.
Well, there you have it.
Matt, it's been a pleasure.
Our first venture back into live sports broadcast since the COVID virus shut everything down back in mid-March. We got 2/3 of an inning in.
2/3 of a half inning, not even a full inning in yet.
12 total pitches, 2 outs, bases empty, strike one on the batter at the plate. The rains came, and, boy, just as quick as they came, they have left. There's just a sprinkle going on right now, but the field conditions certainly not going to be playable. And with more rain in that forecast as you look at the radar screen, the decision quickly made, and we will wait until tomorrow. Well, Matt, as you said, it has been fun. What do you say we do it again?
I say we do it again same time tomorrow. What say you?
I will be here, and we'll have to find out if Natalie's back. John hopefully will be here as well, and we'll see what we can do to bring you some Hornby Hornets baseball. Right now, we're going to get back into regular programming, both on Talk Radio WRNR as well as TV 10. Tune in tomorrow morning from 6 to 8. Get all the latest news, weather, business, features, sports, and more. We'll tell you more about what's happening with this doubleheader then. And then you've got Eastern Panhandle Talk from 8 to 10. Miller time will be on the air live from 12 to 1. We'll re-air from 5 until about 5:20, and at that point we will jump immediately into our second pregame for today's coverage of Hornby Hornets baseball. Thanks to everyone involved in getting us set up. Thanks to John Alderton running our camera, Natalie Comer helping us out with our setup, Don Kenny back at the studio. Thanks to Aaron Byler, to Trip Tobin, all the folks here at P.O. Faulkner Park and with the Hornets for their help and support of our coverage. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you our final in 2/3 of an inning. Nothing. Yeah, the rain has canceled us, and we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, so long, everyone.
You've been listening to Hornby Hornets Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. All rights reserved. We now return to regular programming.
Howdy, cowpokes. Do your business cards look like they were designed by a coat roper? Well, this cowboy knows the advantage of dealing with folks the old-fashioned way. When you order printed material on the internet, you're stuck with what you get. But when you need printed material to look just right, you want to deal with folks you know. And that's what you'll find at Panhandle Printing and Design. Local folks that have been delivering results for years. They can help with everything from design to production of stationery